Well, kids, we're going to make some biscuits here because everybody wants to know how they're so good. So, first thing we did was we got 2 cups of flour in here. I ran out of my all bleached white flour, so I got topped it off with the all-purpose whole wheat flour a little bit. Now I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons, 2 kind of good healthy teaspoons of baking powder. Don't be cheap, kids. Get the good stuff. To that, we're going to put in, you know, maybe a tablespoon of sugar or so, just to, you know, balance her up a little bit. And we're using salted butter, so we're not going to use any salt, because we got salted butter. Now, the real trick here, see that? Did you hear that noise? That was the sound of frozen butter. I gotta get the cheese cater out of the sink here. For preparation on my video time here. We'll edit that part out. So the real secret to the biscuit rising nicely and being real flaky and biscuity, having all those good characteristics, is that these little chunks of frozen butter, by the way, this is I believe it's about a quarter pound of butter right here. Just took the thing and cut it so I could make biscuits 4 times out of a pound of butter, so it's got to be a quarter pound of butter, right? And we're just going to grate that sucker with a cheese grater. And get it in there as fast as you can, because your hand starts to warm the butter up. And what we're trying to do is keep this butter cold and isolated. And you could probably go through the extreme of chilling the bowl, the flour, the grater, everything, just to keep it in that texture. Because we're taking something slimy, I guess you could say, butter, slippery, and we're going to try to coat these minuscule pieces of butter with flour, so that these pieces of butter will exist nicely in there, evenly. And when the butter is heated in the oven, it's going to let off a little bit of moisture and steam, and that's what rises the biscuit. Plus, you all know how good butter tastes. So once we get it down to the nitty-gritty here at the very end of it, it's starting to turn into a mushy kind of thing. That's okay too, because we can just cut that piece in. There. You see how I got the butter all shredded? Just like cheese, ready to mix into that flour. I'm going to get the hand dried off here. Wash it off. Fucking water's cold again. Alright. Pastry cutter. And we're just going to cut this into the flour. Something tells me that this would make an awesome, this technique would be fine for pie crusts also. No, I have not made a pie crust. It's something I might do today. But this is easier than going to the store for bread for breakfast. And 10 times tastier. Oh man, come on, homemade biscuits. So we've cut that in, and you can see the butter is all loose in there, kind of crumbly, covered with flour. And that's what we want. Make sure we got it all in there. Alright. Okay, there's our dry ingredients. And now, for the wet stuff. We're going to put in 3/4 of a cup of milk. Because, I'll tell you what I did the other day. I put too much milk in, and it was a horrendous mess. Trying to get my hands back to the state where I was trying to add flour, and I was getting bits of that floury paste. We're going to put 1 egg in with the milk. Grab a fork and give her a beat there. Before you get all crazy with the freaking sticking your hands in there and all that, maybe just give a tad more milk. Just eyeball that sucker on there. We're going to take it and pour it right over top of everything like that. And we're going to take a spoon and incorporate it in so that we get all the flour wet. And mix it together evenly. You'll see that it starts to ball up. Another thing about making biscuits so they're not real tough, make them tender, is you don't work the dough too much. So you see I've got it, so it's picked up all the flour and everything out of there. And it's ready to make a ball. See? Now, it won't stick to my hands as bad. So we'll take some flour there, put it on the counter. All that other junk out of the way. Flour the hands up a little bit. Now we can just pick up this dough ball all in one piece, just like that. See, look, no sticky crap all over the place. It's easy. We've hardly handled it. See, it still looks like a pile of brains there because we haven't even kneaded it yet. And the bowl's all pretty much clean, you know. We didn't disregard that. You can even this out nicely, and not too much flour, because if you put too much flour, it's going to make the dough tough. So, we're just going to spread it out now because we haven't worked it hardly at all. And that's the ticket. Don't work that shit too much. There. And then some people use a cutter and all that. Well, I haven't got one. So I'm just going to grab a knife. And we'll go for 3 layers here. 3. Cut it that way. That way. There. We got one kind of a small little fart here. Oh, that's okay. small as you want. I thought I'd make it a little bit smaller here. Everybody wants one. There we go. Hardly any mess. The oven's preheated to about 425, and now I'm going to turn it down to about 410. We got them on the pan. Oh! Holy shit, kids, hold the fort. Hold the fucking fort. One tip here I forgot to share with you. Take our measuring cup there and just throw a bit of butter in the thing, chuck it in the microwave. 30 seconds. I'll wash my hands while that's going on. Nice melted butter there. No paintbrush. And we'll just melt some butter on top of these puppies. That's going to make them brown real nice. Gonna make them taste good. There. And they go for a undetermined amount of time. I don't know, 15 minutes or so. So, there you have it. There's the secret to making my premium biscuits. Be back in a minute. Well, through the miracle of time, let's check the biscuits. Oh yeah. Look at them, eh? Just nicely browned a little bit there. Not burned. Oh, does that smell good? We'll leave them there to cool down a little bit. And there you have it, Captain Jim's Kick-Ass Biscuits. Make some.